Hey everybody, it's Tamika from Scrap the World, and I am so super excited to be selected as the March 2019 guest designer for the Loaded Envelope Galore and More group on Facebook. I am hosting the Loaded Flip Box Swap, and this is a box that you can fill with tons of embellishments. You can also fill it with handmade goodies, or if you'd like, you could even use the same template that I'm going to show you how to construct to make a 4x6 mini album to fit and give to your friends and family. This is a great project to do. It's simple, it's easy, and it's fun, and I'm sure you'll like it. So let me show you what I made. This style is shabby chic, but you're free to use any style that tickles your fancy. So I chose to use a really pretty Prima paper, and I added some handmade flowers to the front. I used some of the paper sentiments from the collection. Really cute. I added lace and other handmade flowers and little tiny pearls on the front. On the back, I have a sentiment from the collection to finish it off. Inside my loaded flip box, you can find all the items that you're going to swap. I've included some handmade bows, always a great gift. I've included some vellum flowers, some yarn tassels, some more of the dimensional handmade flowers, lots of stickles, and a lace sample. Let me show you the items you need to construct this easy box, and let's go ahead and put one together. All right, let's start out with the items that you'll need. You'll need the basic book construction items, a scoring tool so that you can help fold over and get your edges nice and straight. You'll need some scissors, some double-sided tape. You'll need your chipboard. I'll give you the dimensions in a second, and your base cardstock. I'm using 110-pound weight white cardstock, and then I'm going to use my pattern paper to add and decorate the book. So you'll need one piece of chipboard, lightweight, medium weight. This is heavyweight. Cut at 4 by 4 1/4. You need one piece at 4 by 6, two pieces at 4 by 2, two pieces at 2 by 2, and one piece at 4 by 2 1/4. I'm going to grab my double-sided tape, and I'm just going to attach two pieces of 110-pound weight cardstock together. The next thing you want to do is add double-sided tape to the back of your pieces, or to one side of your pieces. So I'm going to use this double-sided tape to add to the back of my cardstock. This is going to be laid on top of the cardstock, so we want to make sure that it's super secure. Okay, I have tape added to the back of all of my pieces. So I'm going to show you now how to lay them out on the cardstock. Okay, so I have my cardstock, and I know that the white balance is affected right now, but it's going to be super easy. So make sure you have space on both sides when you're laying your pieces down. So I'm going to lay my big piece down first, which is the 4 by 6. Lay that down right in the center. All right, now here's the rest of the lineup. You have your 4 by 6 piece. Leave a little bit of a gap, like a 1/16 of an inch gap in between the two pieces. So about that. Okay, that's the 4 by 2 that's next. Next is the 4 by 4. All right, going under here, we're going to put another 4 by 2, and then a 4 by 2 1/4. All right, what you should have left are these 2 by 2s. Put those aside for now. So go ahead, peel the backing off your tape, and adhere these in the row just like this. All right, I have all of my pieces adhered securely down. So what I'm going to do is take my bone folder, and I'm just going to follow along the edge and lightly start breaking the paper a little bit so that I can fold it up and wrap this chipboard. Then I'm going to take my scissors. I'm going to leave some hangover now, about an inch. at least, so you can wrap your paper around it. All right, and you want to do that all the way around. Okay, this is what you should have, nice and neat. And we're going to go ahead and start to get those corners. Take your time. Try not to break your paper. We're going to try to get this cardstock folded up. All right, just like so. And we're going to miter these corners. Just cutting off a little triangle at the corners of the paper. All right, I am going to just add little cuts to help fold this paper along. You don't want to go to the square mark, but you just want to add little slivers where the chipboard kind of connect, right in between that little wedge there. It's like little slivers, just like that. You're going to do that to both sides. Now we can add some tape to the perimeter of this chipboard. Okay, now you want to go ahead and take the tape off and then fold it over. You want to do that for all the sides. All right, this is what you should have. And then you want to slightly fold over all of the paper, or fold over your chipboard where the spaces are. And it should be like that. All right, we want to go ahead and lay paper on the inside and cover this up. So I cut one piece of 8.5 by 11 down to 4 by 11, or one piece of paper down to 2 pieces at 4 by 11, and that's going to cover the inside, line the inside up. So you want to go ahead and add some tape. I'm going to use my ATG tape here to line this part, and I'm just going to start right at the top, tip top, and follow it down. All right, I'm going to measure out how much I need for the second piece, and then fill up the rest. This time I'm going to start on the opposite end at the top, at the edge rather. I'm going to go over those marks when I find them. I'm going to go over those marks with my bone folder to kind of help them along the way. You can feel where they are. So this is the shape you should have, and it should overlap just a smidge. See how cute that is? I love it. Let's put that aside, and then we need to wrap these pieces up. I'm going to take my 2 2x2s. I'm going to put it right on the paper where I know I can have room to cut around it. About there. I'm going to do the same thing to this one. Okay, once you add the paper, the chipboard to the cardstock, you want to go ahead and miter like we did before. So now you want to adhere one side, one flap down. You can use double-sided tape for this. You can use wet glue, of course, for any parts in the project, but I prefer double-sided tape. So you want to add your tape to the one side and fold that down, just like so. Then you want to grab a piece of coordinating cardstock, whatever cardstock you want, and you want to add it to the middle to cover that chipboard. All right, I just had some adhesive on there, and there we go. And you want to leave these 3 flaps open. You want to do the same thing to this one. All right, so let's add the double-sided tape to the bottom flap. So you have one on left, one on right. We want to add the tape to the bottom, and we're going to add it to not this bottom flap here, but this second flap. So the bottom of this to the one right before the second, and try to match it up as best you can. Okay, we want to do the same thing to the other side. left, right, and then the bottom piece. Sometimes I like to butt it up against how it'll fold to get a more accurate space measurement. Let's add double-sided tape to those flaps. All right, we're going to remove this double-sided tape, and it's okay to be neater than I am. I will not be upset with your corners, with your spacing. These will be hidden under some cardstock. Unless you're not hiding it under cardstock, then you definitely want to be neater with your flaps. Okay, so now we're just going to fold this bottom half up and match it with the flaps. I like to do my left and my right. And then we're going to close the top up. Fold it down there. Just like that. This is up a little bit higher so that that can overlap a bit. Okay, so right now we have to layer our paper so that we can add the closure first. You don't have to do the whole thing, but you have to do this flap for sure. I'm using this Prima Poetic Rose. All right, I cut 2 pieces at 4 1/4 by 2 1/4 in the pattern paper, and then 2 pieces at 3 7/8 by 4 1/8. You can offset as much as you'd like or as little as you'd like. So I am going to go ahead and add these to my book. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add this to the front of my book, just like that. All right, I'm going to add this one down here to the bottom. Hide all those connecting pieces. Nobody can see. Grab the little pieces that we're going to use to close this together. Now, if you have the hitch fasteners, which I do, but I only have them in a copper color, and I mean not copper, like a metal bronze, doesn't go with the paper, bottom line. So you can use eyelet and brad, and of course you want to get some elastic. I'm going to figure out where I want my hole to go. Make sure I got everything nice and even. One right here, and then close it up about right there. Center it. Punch my hole. Okay. All right, now you want to place your eyelet face down. All right, place your eyelet face down, and then your brad right through the center, and push it through. You can grab your bone folder to kind of help you out along the way. What I do is take my hot glue gun and kind of just add some glue underneath and around the edges. And then I will press it in as much as I can. Then you want to add your backing paper to the inside. Pay attention to your direction, because obviously I did it. All right, for the bottom piece, you're just going to use your eyelet. So you don't need 2 of those. You just need 1. Just make sure everything lines up. Okay? And then you just want to go ahead and secure this eyelet. And then you want to add your back pattern paper to the inside. All right, now you can take your elastic. All right, pull the ends through. Now you want to try to measure how much you need to secure the box. So just right about there is about right. Okay, I got a hold of it underneath, and I'm going to take this off the top, and this is where I want to tie my knot, where I have my finger with the measurement. So tie a quick knot, pull that through. You can also use hair ties. That works perfectly. All right, so I'm going to take it off, and I'm going to cut off the extra in the back. Feel free to add a little hot glue to the inside to keep that knot kind of stable and so it doesn't come out. So now I'm going to go ahead and fill the rest of this with pattern paper, and I'll be back. Alright guys, that is the end of the tutorial. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please be sure to leave them down below and I will get to them as soon as I am able. I want to go ahead and put this on fast forward so you guys can at least see a little bit of how I put the decorations on top of my loaded flip box. I want to thank Robin again for the invite to be a guest designer for the month of March in the Loaded Envelope Galore and More Facebook group. Thank you guys all for watching, and I do hope you try this tutorial and participate in the swap. So I'm going to let this play out. Again, you don't have to put this in the shabby chic style. You can do whatever style you like, clean and simple, vintage. It's totally up to you. Make it your own. Fill it with lots of handmade goodies and give it to someone to share. All right, guys, I will talk to you soon. Bye.